Okay, so I'm going to do a review on this Pandoras Box rip-off of a rip-off. So if you look down here, the official Pandoras Box, I think is at the moment at a version 6 here. And just to help you out when you're looking at these things, you've got to look for this, let me get it for you, 3A Game Store. My understanding, I could be wrong, but my understanding is the 3A Game Store is the official producer of this product. There's been a whole bundle of clones and knockoffs, and I, being the, well, let's face it, tight ass that I was, decided to buy a knockoff version, because back then it was cheaper, or it still is cheaper than knockoff versions, and I got one of these that you see before, and I got this like a while ago now. I got this though not just because the other one was more expensive, although that was a factor. I got it because this one here, I like the decal, and I was going for aesthetics. I just like the look of it, the colours, the picture, everything, obviously, for me. And I liked the fact when I researched it, I knew in the specifications this one could operate through a Raspberry Pi. One of my intentions was to use my Raspberry Pi, which I have done, because I can use MAME on RetroPie or Recalbox, but as it turned out, it didn't work with RetroPie because for some reason it couldn't pick up the carbon joystick. There was something wrong with it, and I tried all sorts of things. It was really annoying me. So I eventually went to Recalbox, and for some reason that worked. It detected this straight away, it detected it properly, and all the joystick entries and buttons I could properly enter. Because before, on RetroPie, you can only go up and left for each joystick, and that was it. And I went to LSUSB on Linux Mint and everything, got the right designations, Googled it, put in special codes in the config text or whatever it was of let me get it right, the RetroPie, and it still didn't work. So I was limited to using the Recalbox version, which is fine. I can get most things to work with, a bit of mucking around. And so I'm very happy with that. And the way it works is, you don't need to plug it in. You just use one, I think it's the bottom one, the top one, the USB, and then off you go, and you plug it into this, any one of those, it gets recognized, you configure it, and you're away, and you're happy. Now you might ask yourself, so why didn't these people just use a Raspberry Pi? Well, I think because they can probably make their own silicon cheaper because they can optimize it. And I think the most important thing is they can have it, so you just press the config button and it resets everything. With your Raspberry Pi, you can muck around with it an awful lot, a limited amount, and you will eventually balk it and have to stuff around and go back to the beginning again. So I can see they made a decision to do that. Now this here is what I would call an exercise in efficiency, the way they've made it. It's really nice, it's solid, it's made out of powder-coated sheet metal, it's got everything you want on it, it's got a nice thick Perspex top here with a nice thick decal there. This was caused after we got it. Someone at home, I think, fiddled with the corner, so that's not on them, that's on us. Buttons, they feel good. Now, if you look at the official Pandoras Box 6S, here's one of the reasons why I think it is better. Is you can get this version with 8 buttons on each, plus 3 buttons up there that are extra, plus my understanding the new 6S processor is better than the one in here. Now we're going to open this. I think a lot of the fun of this is opening it. And one other thing, I wasn't happy with this joystick. This is one of the purposes I've made this specific review, is because I wanted a sanwa joystick put in. So I went and ordered off Amazon a sanwa joystick, and I've just put it in there and it fits. Here is the box it came in, so you know, this is the old joystick. Look, there wasn't anything really wrong with this old joystick, that much, but what got me was, there's the old one there, when you do that, it just feels too loose, and you don't have the kind of feedback that you need. And that's a function of 2 things I found out. One is they've worked together themselves. They made the stalk longer, so your torque moment is larger. Even if the micro switches give you the same feedback, it's got a longer moment arm. So of course it's going to feel weaker. This one is about, the sanwa is about that much shorter, roughly that much shorter. Just stick my head in there. Where are we? There, that much shorter. And so that works, yes. And plus, I think the micro switches and the sanwa are better. So to me, it feels better. I haven't played any games yet. I'll have to come back and do a review on the actual games. But kinesthetically and proprioceptively, it feels better. So I'll just show you inside what these things look like inside. This is very easy to replace. It's literally take the screws out. The base plate is small on the sanwa, but it still fits perfectly. And put the screws in, and then attach the this cable here. There's one inside where you attach the motherboard, so that's that. And you just plug that in. The other side's already done for you, so you're fine. And off you go. So this is held together by 3 Phillips screws at this end to undo the lid. On the other side you have a hinge, so you can hinge the top up. And wow, do I love opening this. This is just great fun. Like, I don't know if you remember being back in the arcades, of course a lot of you won't, but sometimes you'd see a maintenance guy opening one and you think, what is in there? Look at all the things, wow, that's cool. Sometimes one might be sort of broken or open, you might be able to press the buttons inside to get some credits or something, or just have a look, it was just great. And this is an exercise in economy. Something about Chinese products recently in the last year or 2 years is they're really, I think, improving in their meeting market expectations. Like, they give you the features you really want us to have and in the way you really wanted to have it. And look, I can understand the Apple approach, for example, where they have a very closed hardware environments. They can give you long-term service and a very slick interface, and a lot of things do just work. But conversely, you know, that's all you get from them. They don't have kind of a midway option, but you know, they are making decisions on the scale of millions and millions of units. So yeah, I can see that point. But at the other end here we go, and this is good. Look at this. That is so neat. Look at the wiring on that. That is really well done. You've got the LED light here, and this looks great. Just one strip, that's all you need. When you close it, it looks like the whole thing's lit up. It comes through the edges of the perspex there. That's why that's got that edge there. You can see it around the lights. It is a feature in and of itself. It just looks good to have there glowing away on your near your TV or wherever you have this. Now, when you look at this board here, if you look at this board, I think it's got the designation 4JH1228. I think this is actually Pandoras Box 4. So I can't tell whether the company that's made this has just done a straight rip-off, or whether they've the company themselves, the 3A Game Store company, has just sold these off as on a secondary market. If you take this QC sticker up, there is the SD card. Now, I'm not going to muck around with that because I know I'd like to put that into my Linux machine. Have a poke around and I would balk it. So I'm just going to leave that, everything's happy, and I will stick with my Raspberry Pi. For a size comparison, there's your Raspberry Pi, and it will fit easily in this box somewhere. And you can drill out, and I've seen videos on the web, on YouTube, that show you how to do this, so you can run off a Raspberry Pi.
So you can see here I've replaced the original joystick with the sanwa. I think the sanwa is much better.
There. If you look at the restrictor here, the plastic looks more transparent. There's a smaller base plate. I'm going to get that up for you a little bit more. There. Is that a little bit better? So it's a smaller base plate. These buttons you can change around completely. This base plate is larger. That's a clearer plastic. This seems to be more opaque. This does look to be slightly better quality, or better quality all around, and it feels better. But that could be just because that's what I grew up with, using that kind of joystick, so it may not be different, but I like it. And yeah, inside here it's really, really nice. So there's the fan, just over there. And at this end is the speaker. Got your hinges there and there. And look, it's a very nice little unit. So I'll just close that back up again. And you know, it's fun just to take a look in there. And the wiring again, I think is very neat. I'll just close that up. And I'll screw that back in a bit later. But there you have it. And I'll play a few games. I have played games on this, of course, before. And as I said, if I didn't say, I bought the Korean version accidentally. But I can still see the pictures on it. on the 4S or the 4, whatever that board is in there, on games like Shinobi, it tends to tear on the side scrolling, and that's really annoying. But when you put it through the Raspberry Pi, it's solid, and I found that to be on the 3, and this is actually 3 Plus. I've got a 3 and a 3 Plus. I haven't got a 4 yet, but it's solid on the 3, so you're fine with that. And look, I really recommend it. I think this is a great product. I think it's fun to muck around with. It's upgradable. I would probably get the Pandoras Box 6M, but I still don't like the decals that much. And if I was going to get the Pandora 6, I would get the 8 buttons on either side, and I'd get it with the 5 buttons at the top, because then you're fully decked out, ready to go. And after that, if they do upgrade, you can, I think, just buy the inside part and put that in. But the Raspberry Pi, do you need it? Probably not. So, any questions, you can put it below, and we'll see how it goes. See you later.